So I just restarted recording this whole video because I got so much shit wrong. Yeah. Oh, hell nah. Bitch, slap that boy. I'm reading off my notes because I take some notes while I'm watching the show. And I just wrote, oh, hell nah, bitch, slap that boy. Because I resumed watching when Leroy hits his son because his son, what's his name? Will. Will is like, you let your friend die. You suck. And then Leroy's just like, bah! Just absolutely obliterates his kid's face. Cause I don't blame him. I don't blame him, dog. Like if I heard that shit after my homeboy just died, my like my brother, my right hand man, the guy who took a bullet for my son, and then my son's gonna talk about some you let him die? Hell nah. Hell nah. That shit not gonna slide. 60s, different time. Lily crash out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, that scene where Lily has the artifact, like the dagger that can keep Pennywise away. And then everybody's like, yo, that seems pretty fucking cool. Can I see that shit? And Lily's like, fuck no, this is mine. Mine and mine alone. You're not touching this shit. And then she Loki crashes out. She's like, all of you maggots, you guys suck, and I hate you all. We gotta go. Let's do a drive-by. I'm Pennywise right now. And everybody's like, we kind of don't want to go down there. Didn't we just almost die? Didn't someone actually die when we went down there? And Lee's like, nah, bro. We got it this time. We got it. And yeah, and then they start like fighting in between each other. And Richie, God bless his soul, is like, stop fighting, everyone. And then they just don't. I mean, he tried, I guess. In the original, they have a similar scene with Beverly where they have a fighting which she doesn't really solve either, but hers I feel had more effect than Richie's in that movie. These are just notes that I took. Uh, when I think I just wrote down like silly shit because like yeah, like I think I said that in my previous video where I'm like these movies are more comedies than they are horror, but I do think the show is a little bit more on the horror side than the comedy side. The movies were a joke, I'm not gonna lie, like they were pretty funny. It's the scenes where Leroy goes to see Dick Halloran because Leroy's like, we have to stop this thing because it's turning me evil. I didn't hit my son. The evil entity made me hit my son. That wasn't me. It was 100% him, and it was valid for him to do that. But besides, besides that, Dick is like, dude, why the fuck would I want to go back there? Do you not see how insane I am? I literally almost shot you when you walked into my room. I'm not okay. I'm losing my mind slowly. And Luder's like, nah, bro, please, 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 can you please find the evil entity so that we can kill him? Like, bro, come on, dude, come on. And Dick's like, fuck you, dude, no. Why would I do this? I forgot what happens. He's eventually like, dude, because they got my boy. And Dick's like, that's all you had to say, bro. Save a child? I got you. But Dick is like seeing like monsters, not it's like zombies, people who've died in the areas he visits. Right? He's a better man than me. I would have been like, no, you can kick me out of the army or air force. I don't care. I'm not going back to those evil haunted spirits. So I actually deleted this entire portion where I talk about the black spot. This sucks. I gotta just read it. I just deleted like the entirety of when I talked about the black spot and what happens during those scenes. So let me reiterate what I talked about. Richie, Margaret, Will pull up to the black spot and they're like, "Yo, this place is lit. Low-key a vibe. 60s black men rock," which they do. They're all chilling in there, and let me think. Reggie's like, "Yo, bartender, let me get a Coke real quick with Margaret." right? Find shit for him. And they give him the cook, but it's got fucking alcohol in it. Shout out the black guy. They're like 10 or whatever. And they're like, dude, this shit tastes funky. What's wrong with it? And they're like, dude, this is an adult Coke. All right, no more, none of that kid shit. And they're like, dude, this is fucking lit. And then the band at the black spot's like, our drummer guy's fucked up. You, Richie boy, you down to play? Because he's got sticks in the back of his pocket, and he's like, me? Fuck yeah, I want to play. So they start vibing. It's a chill. But this is where Ronnie's dad is being kept. I don't know if I talked about that. And these racist white people pull up, and they're like, hand over the black man, and no one gets hurt. What they failed to take into account is that this is full of not Navy, Air Force men who have guns, right? And they're like, how about you put down your weapons and get the hell on out of here? So it's a Mexican standoff. Every gun's pointing at each other. And unfortunately for the viewer, Ronnie's dad is like, guys, stop fighting over me. I'll hand myself over so that no one gets hurt. And me as a viewer, I'm like, dude, you're stupid as fuck, dude. Like, these Air Force men were ride or die, 10 toes down, ready to fight for you, dude. And there probably wasn't even going to be a fight. They were probably going to leave because they're like, fuck, man, these are Air Force men. And we'll probably go to jail forever. I don't know if we should do this. But no, he just outs himself, and they have confirmation that they can just obliterate the spot, which they do. They are like, aw, geez, you got us. Looks like we have to dip and let the black guy who we think murdered our children go free, but we're racist, so we don't care, and we're going to kill him anyways. So they start throwing Molotovs once they leave at the area, and it causes, despair, fear, and death, which attracts Pennywise and leads up to Pennywise pulling up to the place. And as the white people are leaving, one of them's cars doesn't start. And now this whole video is fucked up because I can't remember what I talked about, and I'm too lazy to go through the whole thing, but I'm not lazy enough to edit it. So now it's going to be the part where I talk about the lore that I forgot to mention previously before the black spot. And it turns out that this woman is the daughter of Bob Gray, who inspired Pennywise to take on the clown persona. And I completely forgot to mention that we get like a whole flashback of how that shit unfolded, right? So I'm gonna talk about it real quick before I finish the stuff at the black spot. So we get to find out that Bob Gray used to work at a circus, and then the circus, he got kicked out or something happened, a falling out maybe. I don't really remember, but eventually he ends up on this traveling fair. And while he's passing through Derry, he performs, and it sees him performing and how it attracts all the children to him, right? He's like, one night he pulls up to him and is like, bro, how the fuck do you do that? And he's formed into a kid. So Bob Gray's like, bro, fuck off. I don't want to talk to you. The show's that way, kid. Come on, fuck off. He's drinking like his gin or whatever and his smoke. Calm down. Or relieve stress. And eventually he tricks him into going to the forest, and that's where he kills him. But Bob Gray had a daughter, and her clown persona, was based off her mother's, whose name was Periwinkle. And so when she sees, like, many years go by because she knows, or she's told that her dad died, and she works as a nurse at the psych ward, and one of the kids is like, dude, I hear voices, and Pennywise tells me to go down into the sewers, or go down into the basement, so that he can, like, kill me and shit. And then she's like, no fucking way. Bullshit. Yeah, my ass, Pennywise is down there. So she goes with her, to go down there to see it, right? And she's like, Pennywise, you're actually down here. Oh my god, I did not see this coming, right? And then she just lets, well, she doesn't let this kid. She like says run, they start running, and then they get separated, unfortunately, and the kid dies. The kid is massacred. It's unfortunate. But then, oh, devious Big P, he pulls a fast one on you. He goes back to his form as Bob Gray and fucks with this chick's mind, the chick who's a nurse who was Periwinkle. And he's like, come to daddy. It's me, Bob Gray. And she's like, oh my god. Bob Gray, my father. He's alive. I know he is, because I can feel it. No, you don't feel shit. You're getting fucking played, dog. So, she notices that every 27 years he comes back. And she waits. She waits and waits and hopes to find him. And it's revealed she was at the cemetery when Richie tried to summon that spirit, and they thought, or Pennywise was following them. She was there, and she's the person that they got a picture of when they were taking pictures. I don't know if I talked about that in a previous episode. But yeah, Lily's like, holy shit, you're freaking evil, because you're knowingly letting these kids die and forming these tragic events to unfold so that you can see Pennywise. And she's like, but like,
Real.
I just want to see my dad. Like, do these kids' lives really matter if I get to be reunited with my dad? And Lily bikes, just rides away in her bike, screaming in agony, because she's like, fuck, man. I really ain't got no one to trust. I'm really all on my own in this shit. So fast forward to the black spot. Guess who's also there? Periwinkle, because she orchestrated to have those racists pull up to the black spot so that there would be so much despair and agony that Pennywise he couldn't pass up this opportunity, just slaughter some people and feast on the fear. Like, yeah, that makes sense. And actually, Periwinkle's husband is there, and he's the racist whose car won't start. And he notices her in her clown outfit, because she has her own clown outfit. And he's like, what the fuck are you wearing? Dude, take that shit off and go home before I pop you a new one, dog. And she's like, no, fuck you. He's like, what did you say to me? He's really whining that shit back, right? I think I might be overplaying it. And Pennywise just cleaves his head off, straight off, like a Mortal Kombat fatality. He just fucking shank, and half his face rolls off. And he starts nibbling on that shit like a pomegranate, dog. it was pretty cool. And Periwinkle's like, oh my gosh, Daddy, we're finally reunited, you and me. We're like a thing, remember? And he's like, oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go take a nap. You're kind of making this awkward, so I'm gonna head out. And Periwinkle's like, you're not gonna leave me again. And Pennywise is like, the fuck? Do you know who I am? I'm an eater of worlds, dog. And then she's like, wait a minute. You're not actually my dad. Aw, you sly fucks. And Pennywise is like, yeah, no shit, dude, I'm an evil entity. And he deadlights her. He's like, he just, why did I do that? He deadlights her, and she starts floating. The scene cuts, and we cut to,
You see that ultimate sacrifice?
we cut to Margaret on seeing Richie's dead body. It's really sad. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, eventually, I just have the ending here on my notes now, so I guess I just have to talk about the ending. Eventually, the military does find one of the artifacts that's keeping the cage sealed for Pennywise, because Pennywise is full, so he's like, I'm gonna take a nap, see y'all in 27 years. And the military has this bright idea to be like, what if we were to open the cage that is keeping Pennywise in Derry and study it? And Leroy's like, okay, that makes sense, I think. Sure, let's do it. So they find the artifact, they dig it up, and guess who immediately notices that the door is wide open? That's right, Big P. So he books it to Derry. Well, he's already in Derry, so he just goes to the town and then just, like, Demon Souls fogs the entire area, or Silent Hill. He fogs the entire area and rounds up all the little children, deadlights all of them, dude. Like, he is not playing games anymore. I think he's like a squirrel, dude, going into hibernation, collecting all his nuts, but the nuts are just children. And he he kills like at least a couple. He kills the milkman. Like, why he didn't need to do that, but I thinking back, he just killed a random milkman. Good thing he did too, because that the milk truck that the kids drive to the spot that Pennywise is at.
Shout out Den.
Let me back up. The kids figure out that Pennywise has taken all the kids from the school uh, with a carriage. I don't know where he got this carriage from. Good for him, though. He got this carriage, and all the kids are like, we gotta pull up on Pennywise and slime him out now. Like, what the fuck, guys? So they're about to pull up, and they try to ride a bike, but they only have one bike. I don't remember why. And they see that the milk truck is there because the milkman is dead because Pennywise just slimed him for some reason. Shout out Pennywise, I guess, for unknowingly making his own defeat once more for being goofy as hell. And like, I don't get, why did he kill the milkman? Why did he didn't need to do this? Anyways, so they're following Pennywise to recover the kids, and Leroy, he pulls up on the government and is like, fuck you guys, what are you guys doing? Because the government is actually, or the military is melting down, is destroying the cage. I don't even think they were trying to make weapons with the molten stuff, or they were just destroying it with the shard, because they had a
He's so easy. I just have to look
they had
at
a piece of the the cage. It was like a piece of the meteorite that Pennywise came on. They had a piece of it. They were melting it, and he pulls up on the general with a gun. He's like, "Fuck this! Stop everything! We are not letting this shit out." And then the general's like, "Melt that shit! Get this clan out of my face!" They kick him out. I forgot how the events unfold. He talks to Dick Halloran. They team up. They're on their way to restore a piece of the cage with the dagger, right? No, no, no. They don't have the dagger yet, but they go to a Native American woman, and she helps Dick Halloran control his visions of the dead people, so that they can work together and find the last shard to restore the cage. So they
Here we go against
they
the big
book
bad
it
monster
they
from
book
Canadian.
it to where the kids are, because Lily has a shard that can be used to restore it. And this is where we figure out that the shard actually, if the more you hold it, the more insane you go. So that's why Lily's been acting more insane than she usually is. Um,
You what?
Eventually, the kids crash the milk truck because they're kids. They don't know how to drive. They crash it,
Why are your abilities so much cooler than mine? Mine
and
does
they're
this
on
shit.
foot, and they eventually
Mine does
catch up
more
to
damage. More damage. That's
the
what mine does.
carriage with all the floating kids, and they're going across this frozen lake. Beautiful, like absolutely stunning visuals. By the way, this is a great atmosphere, and Pennywise is like, "Oh, time to play," right? What does he do? I forgot. He separates the kids because he's like, the fuck? Why do they have the shard? Fuck this. I'm gonna play dirty. So he sneaks up on the kids. He takes away Margaret. It's revealed he perceives time differently. He fucks with Margaret, shows her future Richie, which is her kid,
Up?
is
Oh, that's weird.
is his wanted poster, which is sick as hell because we're like, oh shit, this isn't a prequel. This is a sequel, right? And shout out Dick Halloran because he buys the kids time. He buys everyone time because Margaret's cooked here. I'm not gonna lie. Like, she would have died if Dick would had not involved himself. Dick uses his shining powers to infiltrate Pennywise's mind and trick him into thinking that he's Bob Gray in the past, and then he bitch slaps Bob Gray, Pennywise, and he's like, "What the fuck? What's going on? I thought I was in the past, but not this much of the past." And while he's fucking with him,
I have a whole new ability, which
the
is
kids run off with the shard to put it on this tree, because Leroy is
20-second cleanse.
anyway. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. The kids have to put it to this tree, and the military people pull up, and they're like, "Fuck you! You're not putting it on the tree." And they shoot the adults, not the kids. Uh, Good for them, I guess. They have morals. And eventually, they accidentally fuck with Dick Halloran, and Pennywise is released. right when the general is like, dang, so you are real. Because the general's like, holy shit, Pennywise is frozen. Because Dick Halloran was fucking with his mind, so Pennywise is frozen in the real world instead of the mind world. And then he unfreezes, and he sees the general. He's like, the fuck? Who are you? Wait a minute. I never forget a smell. And he just slimes out the general, so shout out that. Or good for Pennywise, another meal, I guess. He slimes him out. And he does this he does the goofy run to stop the kids. He's like, yes, victory's in my hands. But then he gets fucking shot. He like Pennywise just gets absolutely obliterated by Leroy with a gun. I think, right? And then he gets shot again and again to delay the time it takes to get the shard to the tree, because the shard it like fights against the kids to not be put in the tree, but they all work together, and God bless, the spirit of Richie comes to help out these kids in their time of need. And the only one who can see it though is Dick Halloran. So Dick Halloran sees Richie, Ghost Richie, Spirit Richie, help out these kids. It's a really touching moment, and they eventually seal him away, and I guess Pennywise just leaves. Like, I think he disappears, or he leaves in his bat form, which is really funny to see, because he could have just slimed them all out, I think, if he just had a little more time. It's a happy ending, and everything's set up to where the It movies can still happen. Nothing's changed. We get a cool cameo of Beverly in the future, in the past, when her mom dies in the insane asylum, which is where Periwinkle is now at. So cool hint there. And we get to see Periwinkle as an old woman, and she's the same woman who lived in Beverly's future home in It Chapter 2. So everything's really connected, wrapped up in a nice little bow tie. Dick Halloran is set up to be in The Shining, with them mentioning how he's going to a hotel, not working with the Air Force anymore. Good for him. They were lucky using him like a fleshlight. But yeah, it's a great show, and I think two more seasons are coming out.
Okay, this guy's.
Amazing show, really. Great show. It the opening song, so good. So good, dude. If they kept that opening song for 3 seasons long, I wouldn't mind. Some Hunter x Hunter shit, you know? And yeah, this I don't think this concludes my Stephen King journey of just consuming all the media he has for me, eating it up like slop, like the good boy I am. And I hope my reviews are enjoying to watch, because I feel like sometimes I'm just summarizing what's happening in it, but I want to add my own little twist to some stuff of the things I say. But yeah, this was an enjoying series to watch. I think I don't think I'm probably ever gonna read the books. If I do, it's gonna be like when I'm like 60, dude. But yeah, great show. I heard it was better than the long-awaited Stranger Things 5. I haven't watched Stranger Things, so I wouldn't know. Maybe one day I will, maybe I won't, after hearing how mid the ending was. But yeah, that's all I have. Shout out the Big P. Hey, 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 hey.